In this video, I'll show you how to automate any EMR with Keyboard Maestro. Most physicians I've worked with have to spend hours every week tediously filling out charts, ordering labs, and so on, but I've helped them save hundreds of hours a year by automating these tedious tasks, and today you'll learn how to do the same with 3 simple steps. But first, let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. And by the way, if you want me to just do all this for you and build custom automations for your own EMR, you can book a free call with me using the top link in the description below. So I just created this little mock EMR here with some different fields. So it has like a diagnostic field, a description field, and comments field. And normally you would have to fill these out manually by typing something like this. So you'd enter your diagnostic code, you'd enter your notes in the description field, and then enter your comments below, all by typing them out manually. But using Keyboard Maestro, I created a macro where it pops up a list of all the diagnoses that one might normally use, and then you can just double click on one of these, and you can see it automatically fills in those fields on the left side. And then it pops up another prompt with a list of pre-made comments, which it will automatically type out. So I'll show you some of the basics of Keyboard Maestro in a second, but basically, as you can see, it allows us to control the computer in certain ways by typing out text, by selecting different fields, and doing that much faster than we can do manually. But now let's come to the first of the 3 steps that I mentioned. So step number 1 to automate your EMR is actually to just make a list of all the tasks you have to do on a daily or weekly basis. So one of the big ones is filling out charts. So filling out charts. Another is clicking through EMR screens. So I'm going to type something like this. And then maybe one is copy and pasting patient data between fields. Maybe another is logging into your EMR and maybe that's on a remote desktop. But the point is, you need to make a list of all of the things that you do. Maybe ordering labs, handling tasks in your inbox. And then the next part is to think about how long you spend on each of those tasks every day or week. So maybe logging into the EMR takes 5 minutes a day. So 5 minutes a day. Maybe clicking through the different screens takes 30 minutes a day if you're ordering labs or something like that. Maybe filling out charts. This is often a really big one. Maybe this is something that takes you a couple hours a day. If you see 50 patients a day and it takes you a couple minutes for each of those patients, then you're getting up to close to 2 hours a day for that. But once you've created this list and you know roughly how long you spend on each of those tasks, the next step is to use Keyboard Maestro to automate those tasks. So this is what Keyboard Maestro looks like. Here in Keyboard Maestro, what you can do is you can create these macros or automations. So this is just an example macro that I created. And then here on the right side, you add actions that will perform the tasks you want. So for example, a very common action might be to insert text by typing or pasting. So I'm going to type out, this is an example diagnosis. And now I'll add a trigger to this macro. So the trigger is what causes the actions below to run. I'm just going to do a keyboard shortcut right now. And if I come back to the mock EMR and I press that keyboard shortcut, you can see it types out that text from the action here. Now, another common action is to type an individual keystroke. So maybe something like tab. So normally if you press tab, that will jump between different fields. So if we have an action to insert text by typing, then an action to press the tab keystroke, then if we come back and run the macro, you can see it types out that text and then it jumped to the next field. So we could repeat this a couple of times to fill out the different fields. So the next field is the description. So I'm going to say this is an example description. And then the last was the comment field. So I'm going to say this is an example comment. And now if we go back and we clear this form, then select the first field. Now when I press that keyboard shortcut to run that automation, it types out the text that we had put into each of those 3 actions, and it puts them in the appropriate fields. You can also download this macro in the description below. If you click the link and put your email in, you'll get it for free if you want to play around with it yourself. But once you build a couple of macros like this, that will bring us to step 3, which is to repeat this process over and over. So as you get familiar with some of the actions in Keyboard Maestro, you'll start to discover even more of what's possible. So there are hundreds of actions, and I've only shown 2 so far in this video, but as you get more experience, you'll pull on that thread and discover more and more ways to save time. So for example, maybe you would want a macro that clicks the mouse at certain places on the screen. Or maybe you'd want to make a macro that was voice activated. So based on what you speak, it would enter information into different fields automatically. But following these 3 steps has helped me save clients hundreds of hours a year, and if you do them correctly as well, you'll be able to save that time too. But now that you have a basic idea of some of the things Keyboard Maestro can do, you might like this video next about how to control the mouse with Keyboard Maestro. Thanks for watching.